Coming at you from the AO Studios, it's the Fade Route with D and Z. Here are your hosts, D and Z.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Coming at you live from the AO Studio.
Ayo.
It's the Fade Route with D and Z. I am D, and we got a great show for you tonight. We're going to discuss the college football playoff as the seeding is set. Talk about Cooper Flag and Sam Darnold's prowess as the Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback. But we'll begin today's show with the good news for Z. Juan Soto and Scott Boras pick their team. And it's the New York Mets. Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Soto signed a 15-year, $765 million contract with an opt-out after 5 years. This is $400 million more than Bryce Harper. This is more than double Aaron Judge and $65 million more than Shohei Ohtani. So Z, I ask you, is he worth it?
No. Next question.
Yeah.
Not even close, dude. Why did Shohei Ohtani get $700 million? Why? We've gone over it a million times.
And he hits.
Bingo. Bing to the fucking go. That's it. What about this dude screams $51 million a year? He's a good baseball player. I'm not disputing his talent. He is a good baseball player. Does he have warts? Absolutely he does. Defensively, he was a butcher in the playoffs. Right? Yeah. He's a hitter. He's a good hitter. He's got a good arm. He's got warts. Highest paid player in the league, $51 million a year for that. And don't give me this generation. You were referencing the word generational. There will be another dude in like 5 years, 7 years, and we'll be calling him generational too. Can we retire the phrase generational talent? Can we please fucking do that? Because it's pissing me off. I'm just throwing that out there. You know, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm old, I'm hurt, I'm tired, and I work with fucking children. Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just me. Shout out, Phil. How's it going?
Maybe it's the Gotham City in me.
It could be. It could very well be. Very good baseball player. Not worth $51 million. I would argue that he doesn't make that $51 million without Aaron Judge. You know, you're afraid of Judge. You pitch to Soto. You're afraid to Judge. You pitch to Soto. You purposely put him second.
We're gonna find out how much Aaron Judge needs Juan Soto. That's what we're going to find out.
We're going to find out both, because if you look at both lineups right now, they are both basura. So let's go through this. You have Lindor top. If you're batting Soto second, you know, like that's the nouveau thing to do. You know, bat your best hitter second so he gets more bats in the game. Vientos is going to protect Soto. I'm not scared of Mark Vientos the way I'm scared of Aaron Judge. Not in the playoffs. Different story. But April to late September, I'm more scared of Aaron Judge than Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos, great rookie year. What's he going to do this year? Right? We've seen this story before. Dude could be back in AAA. Who's going to protect Soto then? Nimmo? Marte, who they're trying to trade? Jeff McNeil? Pete Alonso? If they re-sign him, sure. That's a big if right now. It's not done yet. Rumors indicate that his market is drying up, and people are going for 34-year-old Christian Walker instead of Pete.
Ugh.
I find that hard to believe. You know, you trade for Cody Bellinger? Like, you could stick Cody Bellinger behind? No. You know, it's not... Like, you remove Pete from that lineup, even with Juan Soto, it's still kind of meh, you know. And the Yankee lineup currently in flux as well, because you're inserting Dominguez. But what is Jason Dominguez? We still don't know.
A Martian.
Right. Is he Gazoo? Like, what is going on here? You know, you're moving Judge back to right field after the center field experiment, which he passed. He did well. You know, what are both teams going to be? You had to bolster this lineup. You absolutely did, right? The Dodgers aren't going away. The Dodger model is not going away anytime soon. And rumor has it that they may be in on Nolan Arenado as well. So they'll get deeper. They'll get deeper. So you got to keep up with the Joneses, both in the Bronx and in Queens. Massive overpay. But at the end of the day, they're all massive overpays. That's the market. The market was set by Harper, Machado, Trout, Ohtani, and now Soto. Right? These astronomical dollar values, they don't go down. The only way that goes down, the only way this happens is if the next labor negotiation they get locked out. That's the only way that these drunken sailor prices go down. But good player, glad he's on my team. No way in hell is he worth $51 million because no one is.
Yeah, I just think I think he makes the Mets better. He makes them better. I know you're saying your lineup's Basura right now. It's not Basura. He's really good. Lindor is good. Vientos is good. He's not Aaron Judge, but he doesn't have to be Aaron Judge. He's good. The Mets are good. It's just that when you look back at it, you know, Bryce Harper was a bargain. And Manny Machado looks like a bargain at this point, right? I do believe, we talked about it throughout the year that this was a possibility. We were in the area of 600. I think we both were in that ballpark. 700 was just because that's what Steve was going to pay because he wanted him. He wanted the best. He drove the price. I don't think it was the Yankees. It was him. It was like, what do you want? I want to be the highest paid player.
Yeah, he was on record saying it.
Yeah, I want to be the highest paid player in baseball. Okay. Yeah. So 765 work? 760? What are we talking here? Just tell me the number. I'll write it down. Like, that's what happened. That's why it was just between the Yankees and the Mets at the end, because nobody else was going to cough up. I think Boston was probably at the 650 mark, but they weren't going to go Ohtani on this guy. And then when you look at it, it's like, would I rather have Ohtani or would I rather have this guy? I'd rather have Ohtani because I think I'm going to get more with him. I'm going to get more with him, right? He's a unicorn. I'm going to get viewership. I'm going to get the Asian market. He's going to pitch. He's going to crush the ball. I'm just going to get more with him. Soto, like you said, he's a good baseball player, borderline great baseball player, right? But is he worth $765 million?
No, not even close.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You say that the Mets lineup is, it's good. It's a massive drop off after the top three. It's massive. Now David Stearns, this is why you brought him in, right? This is why he's got to go work his magic.
They're not done.
No, they can't be done.
They're not done.
They can't be.
They're not done.
They're not
done. I think they can get Teoscar. They can certainly get Profar. Like they're not done. But the whole thing is like it was always about money. It was always about money. Yes. It had nothing to do with where he wanted to play, who he wanted to play for. Oh, it was fun with the Yankees. Oh, I started with the Nationals. Oh, I could go back to West Coast. No. Don't get it twisted, Met fans. This had nothing to do with anything other than money. Money. Same thing with Yankee fans. Don't get upset about it. Nothing personal. It's just $5 million, but it's $5 million. It was he made it he has his championship. He has his World Series. He doesn't feel like he has anything to prove, and he's just going to be himself. You think he's going to be this, white knight, this savior. He's not. He's going to be what he was last year. He's going to be that for the next probably 7 years. You got 7 years of what he did last year. That's what you're going to get. And you might have 1 or 2 outlier years in the early 30s, but that's what you're going to get. Now, if you're a Yankee fan, the thing you should tell yourself is, wow, $5 million stood between him coming back to us. So how do we lose a guy over $5 million who made it to the World Series with us, and you got nothing out of it? You traded for him. He got you to the World Series. You lost the World Series, and you couldn't. It didn't happen. That hurts more because they gave up a damn good pitcher to the Padres for him, and I was even surprised the Yankees offered as much as they did. But then again, they might have been just driving the price up because fuck it, if he's gonna just give him whatever, you're gonna pay for him. But
right. And Michael King is a free agent after this year. Michael King, they could turn around and get him back.
Padres.
They're trying to shed salary though.
So much.
They
have so much money invested in their starting pitching at this moment.
But that's the thing,
they're gonna go get another starting pitcher.
No, but that's the thing. The rumor mill is that Dylan Cease is back on the block. That's fucking insane.
I'm talking about, but I'm just talking about the Yankees. Like, they just went and got freed. Like, they have Rodon, they have Cole. You're gonna go buy another guy? Like, how many pitchers
because
you
you
gonna
don't
buy?
have
Eventually, you're gonna have to.
You don't have enough.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Rodon is crap. Rodon is crap. Max Fried, we'll see what he is. When he surpasses 20 starts in a season, let's talk. Garrett Cole's Garrett Cole. Heal's the rookie of the year. Okay, what are we going to get from him this year? And then Clark Schmidt's your 5. Nestor is, are you kidding me? Nestor Cortez. Michael King is better than any of those guys. Marcus Stroman is there.
And then
King's not
Stroman.
No, Marcus Stroman might be in on. He might be flipped for Nolan Arenado because there's another thing. Yeah, there's a limited no trade, but as things get smoothed out and things get kind of worked around, it's possible that he could end up on the Yankees still.
I think what the Yankees did is those guys that are pitching together will be better together. And when I say that is Fried is, he's 31, going to be 32 years old. Yeah, I know he's had the best ERA in the league the last 5 years, but he also gets hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And he's going to be asked to do less on this team. He's not the guy. He's one of 3 really good pitchers. The same thing with Rodon. You're one of 3 really good pitchers, and that's comforting, and that will help them pitch better. Now, the only thing I don't know is how healthy Cole is, and that will ultimately decide where the Yankees go is in the pitching department, because I don't think he's very healthy.
That's a major issue,
which is why they're loading up on pitching, like you said, because it's like, okay, we know. Like, we might have seen the best of Cole.
And you just re-upped him
late last year, and when he came in, he got rocked. Yeah, and that's the other thing. You want to opt out? Opt out, motherfucker. Where you going?
But you want to talk about opt-outs. That's the other thing. Met fans should not get comfortable. It's a 5-year contract. He's opting out again. So Juan Soto, to tie it back to Juan Soto, he's still fucking opting out.
But that's okay, right? Because if he opts out after 5 years and the Mets have not made it to a World Series, let him go.
No, of course.
Let him go. Absolutely.
He has not lived up to his end of the bargain.
So it
for sure.
actually works. It works in the Mets' favor for that opt out, because after 5 years, you're going to figure out, okay, this was good. We've been close. We've got pieces. Yes. What's your new number? I'll write it, whatever you want. Now, if you don't get to a championship series, if you don't get to a World Series, then it's like, walk, motherfucker. I dare you. Go.
And he has been remarkably healthy.
In that division. It's going to be hard in that division. You got the Braves. You got the Phillies. Like, these teams are good. But he does, like I say, he don't care about that. Because the easier path to World Series and championships is through the American League, my man. Not through the National League. But whatever.
Hey there, NFL football fans. This is the lovely Rita Sanchez, aka your option football champ for the 2023 NFL season. I'm inviting you to join us for the 2024 option, where we pick the winning teams for each week's matchups and compete against each other to see whose picks reign supreme. Are you in? Head over to CBS Sports and search for the Option 2024 League, or hit the link in the bio on the Fade Route socials and join today. It's for free. Pick a witty name, some winning teams, and I'll see you out there for week 1.
Moving on to football, the Chiefs beat the Chargers on Sunday night to capture their 9th straight division title. The Chiefs are 10-2 in one possession games this year, but could easily be 2-10. So, is this the worst Chiefs team we have seen in the last 5 years?
They're certainly the luckiest Chiefs team that we've seen in the last 5 years.
Is that what you're chalking it up to luck?
I mean, some of this shit is just ridiculous. Between a late field goal miss, a late field goal block, a late field goal by the guy who replaced Harrison Butker, Isaiah Likely having too big of a foot. Like, these are just fluky things that are happening to the Chiefs. And Chris Collinsworth said it best. The defense is running the show here. The offense is really kind of along for the ride here. They're not doing that much. And on the offensive side of the ball, it's like, wow, this is amazing. This is wonderful. Patrick Mahomes, give him another MVP. It's like, it's very smoke and mirrors. It's very, very smoke and mirrors right now. And it's better lucky than good. Excuse me, better lucky than good sometimes. But this team, it doesn't, yes, they have the pelts on the wall. Yes, they have the championship grit and all that. But with these rather uninspired performances, these are games that get you beat in the playoffs. Right? These are the games that, that play with the Raiders, that bad snap and the horrible officiating. But that performance gets you beat. Right? You're going into the playoffs. Yes, you're going to get the first round. You're definitely going to get the first round bye. Buffalo got picked off by the Rams, the Ravens.
They got some tough games coming up. They got to face the Steelers in Kansas City, I believe. That's going to be a tough game.
It's going to be a tough game, but it's a winnable game. It's definitely a winnable game.
Well, they're all winnable. They're all winnable with this team.
Yeah, well, with this team, well, they're survivable. That's the thing. They're not. It's not the 40. They're not doing what the Lions are doing. If you're looking at which team is the more impressive 12-1 team, the Lions by far. The Lions are destroying people. They're taking lives.
When was the last time you saw the Chiefs just win a normal game? I can't remember the last time I can't remember a normal game. Like a normal 21-13. No, that's not even like 21-10 or 24-10. Like, when was the last time you saw them just win a normal game? They fluky, are. Man. You say they're lucky. It's fluky. Some of the things they do are very dumb, too.
Go on.
It is. I don't get some of the things that they do offensively. Like Travis Kelce seems like he's not really part of the game plan.
No.
The running game is average to below average at best, but I think it's just the way that they're playing, right? It's, you have Patrick Mahomes and he doesn't drop back and just fire the ball, right? He drops back, runs around a little bit, and then finds an open guy. Is that sustainable for the rest of his career? No, but it creates a problem. They, outside of their left tackle, they have probably the best offensive lineman in the game. Creed Humphrey is probably the best, one of the best offensive linemen in the league.
Their right tackle's a problem.
That also plays.
Jawan Taylor is terrible.
Right tackle or left tackle?
Right tackle. Jawan
Taylor.
Awful.
Yeah, one of the tackles is terrible, but everybody else is really, really good. I believe one of them is a former Patriot too.
Joe Thuney, I think they have Thuney.
Joe Thuney, yeah, Thuney.
Yeah.
Thuney's the best. He's the best. Yeah. He is the best. So they take advantage of those things, but sooner or later, it's just not going to fall in your favor. How many times are you going to, the kick hits the upright and falls in? Wow. The guy blocks a field goal. Wow. Like, refs. Wow.
Right.
It's just like they catch the breaks, but isn't that what good teams do, Z? Isn't that what good teams are able to do? They're able to win those one possession games. They're able to catch the breaks. Like, isn't that pretty much the formula for a really good team?
Not to this level, though. Not to this level where people are starting to, so at the beginning it was a joke. Now I think it started to where there's smoke. Like, people are really starting to question the validity of this shit. Because there's so many.
They lost Darius Sneed, who is their number one corner, and haven't missed a beat on defense.
No, and they just brought in Steven Nelson.
Carafantis, Chanel is probably the best linebacker in the league. Duffy, great corner. Like,
Nick Bolton.
Have they really been challenged outside of Buffalo? I don't know, but maybe that's the MO of this team. It's like, now we don't need to blow you out. We're gonna win with 4 minutes left. We're gonna win with 30 seconds left. We've been together so long, and our coaching staff is so good. We can close. We're the best prepared team in the league, right? Isn't that what the Patriots were? The best prepared team in the league?
Yes, but that was a dangerous attitude. That's a dangerous attitude to have. The Patriots never were like, oh, we're just going to turn it on when we need it. No, the Patriots we're going to step on your throat every fucking game. That's
they had some lucky breaks, right? They had the break against the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
They had the break against the Giants in that last game of the season, their undefeated year.
And then by that same rationale, the helmet catch went against them. But they were prepared and they were playing hard. Sometimes it looks like the Chiefs are kind of like walking through. It looks very half speed. And like, oh, we'll just, when we need it, it's there. Sometimes it's not there though, but you need to practice it. It needs to be in you, and you need to be like regularly doing it. Like, it's the danger of the hubris of having we can just, when we need it, it's there. Because eventually it won't be. Eventually you'll run up against a team who is just hot and you can't stop them.
Right.
Right. Or, you're going to go up against a team that's going to be in Mahomes' kitchen all day. And there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, everybody knows the weak link on your offensive line. So how are you fixing it? Are you keeping Kelsey in the chip? Or are you keeping Noah Gray in the chip? Are you keeping a tight end on the line? They had
the same problem last year with that tackle. And last year they didn't have Thuney. Thuney was hurt. Thuney didn't play in the Super Bowl, and he didn't play in the AFC Championship game. And they still fucking won. So I don't know, but we'll see. But going to the NFC, Sam Darnold went to work on Sunday and might have propelled your fantasy team into the playoffs. His 5 passing touchdowns on Sunday gave him 28 for the year and helped the Vikings get their 11th victory. They're still only in second place, though. Wild shit. Sam is set to be a free agent next year. Should the Vikings consider trading J.J. McCarthy and paying Sam Darnold?
Well, let's think about this. He's having a career year. He absolutely is having a career year. If your concern is that he's having a career year and then he's playing for a contract, he gets the extension, and then he just goes into the toilet. That's what you are concerned about, because it's regression to the mean. When we look at Sam Darnold over the career, notwithstanding this year, he's a very mediocre quarterback. Extremely mediocre. And he's in a very good position. you invested this high draft pick in J.J. McCarthy for a reason. Like, you value him for the future. It's kind of like the same thing with Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins, and we're going to get to them later. Are you really going to stunt your golden goose for Sam? I don't necessarily think so. Now, what teams need a quarterback? I'm not going to discount it. I'm not going to say it's out of the realm of possibility, but the New York Jets going back to him with their tail between their legs and saying, "Sam, my man, we're sorry." Especially if it's Mike and Rex again. It's like, "We're so sorry. Can you please come back? Please, please." If the Jags move on from Trevor Lawrence.
That was the Josh Allen draft, by the way.
Yes.
They took Sam over Josh Allen.
Because he went to USC and Josh Allen went to Wyoming, and they weren't sure about the competition that Josh Allen played. Yeah. I mean, you can't predict this stuff sometimes. You really can't. Right? Jordan Love. Right? Until Carson Wentz broke his back, Carson Wentz. Like, sometimes the lesser known schools.
Who's on the Chiefs, by the way?
Yes, he's the backup.
Chiefs, by the way.
I had to look that up. I'm like, who the fuck is the backup in case Mahomes gets hurt? It's Carson Wentz. Sorry in advance.
Yeah, he's ready. He'll be ready.
Oh, God. I mean, it's very similar, I'm sure, to what he ran in Philly. So, there's that. You figure if Trevor Lawrence gets moved on from, they can sign Darnold. I think they would probably draft a quarterback if they were going to trade Trevor Lawrence. The Giants, I get the bridge gap thing, that he's going to be the bridge to the future, especially if you don't take a quarterback this year and you wait for Arch Manning next year. That's a dangerous move. It's definitely a dangerous move, especially since that offensive line is terrible. We still don't know jack shit about the wide receivers. And the team is generally in a disarray. I mean, it wouldn't hurt him to stay in Minnesota. I just don't know if they're going to keep him if they believe that strongly in J.J. McCarthy. And what's his asking price going to be? You know, because he knows, at the end of the day, Sam Darnold knows, like, he caught lightning in a bottle this year. This is 1 year. You're building for the future.
Where's he at? It's his payday. This is his payday. This is when he's looking for his max contract. He's probably looking for probably 6. He's looking for probably 60. I'd say 60 mil. He's probably looking for. You don't think he's going to get it?
Not even close. I don't think he should. Off of one good year, absolutely not. I need to see more. But same thing with Geno. Geno needed to prove it, and he proved it.
If a team franchises him, he gets 40. So he ain't taking less than 40.
No,
his number is
60.
They're
not franchising him.
But all I'm trying to say is that if a team was to franchise him, like if the Minnesota Vikings were to franchise him, he would get 40, which means that's the average amount of the top five quarterbacks. So that's the low bar. That's where I am. He's got 28 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. I believe he's third in passing this year. Like, he's third. He's the third best quarterback in the league this year statistically. And I think the only two above him is probably Goff and probably Lamar Jackson, the two quarterbacks above him. Okay, look at their contract. Okay, so that's where we are. That's where I'm.
Lamar Jackson has 2 MVPs.
Starting numbers.
Lamar Jackson has 2 MVPs, and Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl. This guy has done dick all in this league except for this year. If you let the buyer beware, because you got him and you got Daniel Jones on the same fucking roster right now, and they're making it come on now. They're the same fucking guy.
I'm just saying, this is the number, dude. He ain't gonna take less than 40. He ain't taking less than 40. And what? You don't think they're a team? You don't think the New York Jets want Sam Darnold?
I think
You don't think the New York Giants would be interested in Sam Darnold?
they're sucking for the number 1 overall pick. So no, I don't think that they're going that route.
You can suck for the number 1 overall pick, but the number 1 overall pick at one time, the number 2 overall pick was Sam Darnold.
And we were questioning that then. We questioned that then.
To say, like,
I understand what you're saying about the economics of football, but guess what? One good year does not make it so. He needs to do more. You're not erasing the other 6 years of garbage. You're not doing that.
Another team that could be interested is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh could be interested in a Sam Darnold because they got a guy who, he's playing well this year too. He's older. The Colts could be interested in a Sam Darnold. The Jacksonville Jaguars could be interested in a Sam Darnold. The Tennessee Titans, who have Levis on a rookie deal, would be interested in Sam Darnold. Like, there's a market. There's a huge market for Sam Darnold. The Raiders, the fucking Raiders could be interested in Sam Darnold.
To any of those teams,
because even if he's you could give him a 5 or 6 year deal, and he could be your bridge quarterback. You could trade J.J. McCarthy. That's another option you have. You could trade. You don't think J.J. McCarthy has value? I know he's hurt. You don't think he has value? You don't think somebody would trade a 3rd rounder for him? A 2nd rounder for him?
You invest that high of a pick, you're keeping him until you know what he is. You're not trading him.
So you're the GM of the Minnesota Vikings. The year has ended. You made it to the NFC Championship game and you lost by a field goal. What is your next play?
J.J. McCarthy is my guy.
And you're going to let Sam walk?
Yeah.
Wow.
And here's why. Name one situation that you just said where he has Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, who are making this guy. Kevin O'Connell, who's making this guy. Name one situation that is as good or better where they need a quarterback. You can't.
I just think for me, as a GM, I know what I have. I know what Sam Darnold looks like at his best, right? And I have J.J. McCarthy. And J.J. McCarthy I could have a Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers situation on my hands, right? After 3 years, I could trade to Sam Darnold, and when JJ's ready, or in a year where there's a lot of quarterbacks, but if you don't have a top 5 or top 10 pick, you might not get the guy you want. Hey, I got a guy that won a national championship. You want a guy who you want to take a roll on J.J. McCarthy? I could trade that. I don't see, after him having the year he has, that I wouldn't bring him back, and I'd pay him. Give him what he wants. What do you want, Sam? 60? Give me 60. Give me 5 years.
Option 3. Option 3. Let Sam walk. Believe in your system. I got Daniel Jones. Number 6 overall pick. I can do the same exact thing because I believe in my system.
Possibly, sure. You can work him out and let him be the backup to JJ.
You brought him in for a reason,
and see if I can develop him like I developed Sam. But Sam also stopped in San Francisco, and I think that's where Sam ultimately got better. I'm not trying to say KOC isn't a good coach. I think he is a good coach. But even the 49ers loved Sam Darnold. And it was just, we have Brock Purdy. We don't really need Sam Darnold. But Sam Darnold, everywhere Sam has gone, they've liked him. They liked him in Carolina. They liked him in San Francisco. The only place that he wasn't liked was the Jets.
They liked him until he got on the field, and then he got exposed. This is the first year where he hasn't gotten exposed. So that's the thing.
He got exposed with the Panthers, but they still liked him. They wanted to bring him back. They just couldn't agree on a number.
Great in the room. We love you. Love having you. Love having you. Great in the room. Amazing. Fantastic, Sam. We love you. So that's kind of where it is. But I think we're discounting how good KOC is because Kirk Cousins also had transcendent numbers under KOC. He played into that Atlanta contract. So he was good, and then he got better. It's we're kind of discounting a little, we're kind of poo-pooing what KOC does. He took a guy in Kirk Cousins who was already good, and he made him even better. So he took a mediocre guy and made him good. He makes good guys better and makes better guys great. So that I think we're kind of shortchanging him. We'll definitely, because Kyle Shanahan, let's juxtapose the two of them. Kyle Shanahan's system, Sam Darnold's lucky he didn't see the field because he would have gotten destroyed.
Yeah,
he would be in a neck brace. Yes,
even the new running back is hurt again.
Jesus Christ,
5 running backs this year.
Dude, you just got here. What do you mean you're on IR?
When owning a home, it's important to have heating and cooling professional available when things go wrong. Air Care Technicians is a veteran-owned HVAC company servicing the Westchester area. They are licensed to service, repair, maintenance, and replace all HVAC units. If your unit is not running properly or you would like to improve the air quality in your home, contact Air Care Technicians for a free quote. They offer same-day and emergency services for all of your needs. You can reach them at 914-315-1547. Air Care Technicians, 914-315-1547. Moving over to college basketball, Cooper Flagg has the Duke Blue Devils sizzling. They're currently 8-2 and unofficially the 4th best team in the country. So, Z, is Cooper Flagg the best freshman since Kevin Durant in 2010?
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of guys, right? When you think about it. Guys like Paolo Banchero, things like Zion, guys like Ben Simmons. I mean, Ben Simmons before he got hurt, and And in recent,
Kevin Durant was the best freshman in the last 20 years.
I mean, there's Kevin Durant. There's everybody else. You have R.J. Barrett, Lonzo Ball. You have a bunch of guys who were excellent freshman players who were one and done, right? Who were just had a good year, and they, I liken it to the Juan Soto thing that we were talking about in our production meeting. The old story was that Juan Soto got the AA, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna get you the bet. Don't even bother getting me a bet. I'm not gonna be here that long." And he wasn't. He was there for maybe a week, and then he was in the majors. That's the equivalent of a basketball season in college sports. You're there until March, and then fuck that, I'm done. Right? So like Wiggins, DeAndre Ayton, Jabari Parker. You have so many guys. Shit, you're looking at even like Chet Holmgren. Like Chet Holmgren was very good for Gonzaga. And let's kind of pump the brakes a little bit on Cooper. I mean, Cooper Flagg is doing great. There were concerns early on. Things seem to be settling down, but I mean, you had lots of great basketball players who have come through in the past 10 years. None of them are touching KD. I mean, he's Kevin fucking Durant. So, the Kevin F. Durant. Thank you very much. But, I guess, you're giving me, like, Zion. Yeah, I mean, sure, Zion was transformational in a way. Like, he was a culture shift. I don't know necessarily if Banchero was. I don't know if anybody else moved the needle at the level that Zion Williamson did. But then again, like, his career has turned out exactly how we thought Zion Williamson's career was going to turn out. Right? We thought he was going to be Shawn Kemp with an injury problem, with an even worse injury history. And we were kind of right on that. Great dunker, good dunker, an excellent dunker. That whole health problem, that's a major issue for Mr. Williamson. But yeah, nobody else, in my opinion, moved the needle to the level of Zion. But good for Cooper Flagg. Let's see where he ends up.
You don't. So you think Zion was a better freshman than Cooper Flag?
I think that he was more transformational. Like, he was a culture shift to the where, like, there was an actual legitimate, like, mania about Zion. Right? There was an actual, like, yeah, Ben Carroll's good.
So you're just talking. You're just talking about then
where hype meets
impact,
performance.
His impact on the game, and not necessarily how good of a college freshman he was.
Yes, where hype meets performance. Nobody's touching Zion Williamson in the past 15 years.
Wow.
Now, Kevin Durant that's a different story, right? That, Greg Oden, Kevin Durant, that was hype. And then it was just like, okay. And then you have Zion, which was hype. Now, Cooper Flag was hyped. We're also very early in the season. Let's see where he ends up. Let's see if he does what Zion was able to do.
So Kevin Durant, he averaged 25.8, so let's say 26 points a game. 11 rebounds. He shot 40% from 3 and actually 47% from the field. Zion averaged 22 points per game. 9 rebounds. His field goal percentage was 74% from 2. 33% from 3.
Why is this man taking threes?
Cooper,
Why is this man taking threes?
And then we got Cooper Flag here. He's averaging 16 points per game, 9 rebounds, shooting 43% from the field. I think he's a big presence, Z. I think he's gonna be the next star. Like, he's gonna be the next guy that takes the league by storm. He has that Jason Tatum type qualities that, with the right training and the right determination, he could be a star. I mean, he's a big dude. I mean, and even when you watch him play, you can see he commands the game. You can see he's on it. He's in it.
I mean, we're going to see. He's also 17 years old. We got to give him time to kind of grow in the game. Now, I mean, he's, physically, like, he's 6'9", 205. Like, he's not growing height-wise. That's for damn sure. Like, I mean, he may get, like, another inch or two. But you're looking at 6'9", 205. He's going to have to succeed in the league. He's going to have to, what we say about Chet Holmgren, he's got to bulk up. He's got to bulk up because he's going to be playing against men. He's playing against men.
Your hip.
Huh?
You can break your hip if you don't bulk up.
Yeah, you're going to break your fucking pelvis. Guy can't even push when he shits. But that's a problem. It's a major problem. So, he's still extremely young. And to go into the league at 18, 19 years old, it's a trial. It's an absolute trial. Now, chances are he goes number 1, unless there's a Euro who's just like up head and shoulders above him. But chances are he goes number 1.
Not going to happen. Yeah, it's not even a question. It's not, unless he gets hurt.
Which is a possibility. At 17 years old, like, he's still growing into his body. It's certainly within the realm of possibility that things could happen. His game still needs to develop. Like, great for, this is a great start. But you got to get ready for the pro game. So,
who would you compare him to? Because you said you compared Zion to Sean Kemp. Who are you comparing Cooper Flag to?
Based on his stat line and his size, that's tough. Now, 9 rebounds a game, 16 points a game, like, pretty decent shooter, 43%, not bad. It's hard to see one right now because I mean, size-wise, okay, 6'9". Like, you're starting to think, like, okay, maybe, like, in the Dirk category, because, you know, Dirk was a 7-footer, but this guy, he's not there yet. Like, if he aspires to be Dirk, like, that's a fine aspiration. That would be a fine aspiration for Mr. Flag. Based on these numbers, is very middle of the road, very pedestrian. So 16 and 9. It's hard for me to pinpoint one right now. One that's going to be considered praise, I should say. Because it'd be like, oh, it's just, you know, a random 16-point guy. It's just like, oh, well, why are you slandering this guy? Why are you trashing him? It's like, well, no, it's just he's 16 and 9. Like, it's fine. It's good. It's decent. So, I mean, I'm not gonna say he's like Brian Scalabrine. Like, I'm not trashing the dude. Like, what the fuck do you want from me? So, you know, I think he just needs to do more. And if he aspires to be Dirk, I think that would be good. But 17, he's still not there.
I aspire to be Dirk.
I mean, he's the face of the Mavericks, and now he's going to be on. I think he's going to be on Netflix. If I heard correctly, he's going to be part of the coverage. So good for Dirk. Always nice to see Dirk around. But oh dear, it's time. We talked about college basketball. Let's talk about college football. The bracket is set. The first year of this 12-team situation is out. And you know who else is out? You know who will not be contending for a national championship this year? That would be Alabama. Alabama is out. So, your top 4 receiving byes: Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, Arizona State. Then, you've got Texas, you've got Penn State, you've got Notre Dame, you got Ohio State, you have Tennessee, you have Indiana. Congratulations to the Hoosiers. What basketball school? Fuck you. We're not just a basketball school.
Yeah.
SMU and Clemson. How do you think this shakes out, and is this good for college basketball?
You mean college football?
The college football,
right?
Yes. Yeah, college football. How is this good for college football?
It's good. I mean, I guess it's good in the sense that it's created a buzz, and people already have brackets, right?
We love brackets.
There are people that are really, really interested and they want to see, these teams play. To me, I think it's got too many teams. I'm not interested in Tennessee. I'm not interested in Clemson. Actually, I'm not really interested in Indiana. They lost. I'm not interested in SMU. I am not interested in Penn State at all. At all. That team is garbage. It's nice that they're going to have the Indiana-Notre Dame game. It's like the Battle of Indiana. That's fine.
That's the opener on the 20th. You've
got too many games. I mean, look, the Georgia quarterback, their quarterback's hurt. He's not going to be able to play. He hurt his elbow. He's donezo. The quarterback of Georgia is donezo. So
Quinn Ewers is hurt too, right?
Sucks.
Isn't Ewers hurt too for Texas?
Yeah, but their backup is Manning though, so it's fine. So whoever beats Indiana Notre Dame, I would think Notre Dame would win that game. So in Notre Dame, a 7 seed plays Georgia without their fucking quarterback. So now you're gonna have a 7 seed probably beat Georgia, right? Move on. And then you have SMU against Penn State. You're most likely Penn State's should beat SMU. and then they get Boise State. Penn State against Boise State. I got Penn State winning that game. So we got Penn State a 6 against Notre Dame a 7. Trash. On the other side of the bracket, we might get some normalcy. I could see Ohio State crushing Tennessee, Oregon beating Ohio State, so Oregon gets in. Even if Ohio State, I think Ohio State lost to Oregon by 3 this year, right? Something stupid like that. So Oregon gets in, and then I would think Texas crushes Clemson, Texas beats Arizona, so you got a 1 and a 5 on the other side. So a 1 and a 5 and a 6 and a 7. Great, can't wait. Fucking A. You want me to keep going?
Might as well. Go for it. Finish it out.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that Oregon, I don't know, Texas? Yeah, I would assume Oregon beats Texas, so the one should get in on one side. I don't know, fuck. God, I hope not, but I would think that Penn State would beat Notre Dame. So you got Penn State and Oregon in the championship game. Ugh. And then I would say Oregon should beat Penn State for the national championship.
What a stellar start for this 12-team experiment.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like, what's the point of this? What the fuck is the point of this? I really want to see this. I really want to see this garbage.
And they want to expand, dude.
I think it's a little better.
8 would have been better.
I know. It's
8. Yeah.
I think 8's okay. I mean, I like 4, but I guess 8's okay. Because, I mean, come on, talk to me, Z. Do you really want to see Indiana play again? Do you want to see any of the teams I mentioned? Do you want to see Clemson? Do you want to see Tennessee, Ohio State? Anybody who's playing in the first round, who do you want to see out of those teams? Who are you like, man, you know what? They really got shafted this year. I would like to see them play a really good team. Maybe you feel that way about Texas, but I'm sure you don't feel it about everybody else. Ohio State lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
In Ohio State.
Yeah. And somehow they're above Tennessee rather. They're above. Yeah, they're in that 8-9 game.
And Tennessee is
it's not the most ideal situation, but if you're looking at it like this, the answer to all of your questions is money and TV revenue. They're going to expand. Like, this is going to, there's more. More are coming. It's going to be 16, and then it's going to be 24, then it'll be 32. Then it's going to be every team in the fucking country. So eventually, it's going to get to the point where it's oversaturated, just like the NCAA basketball tournament.
Yeah, why stop? Why stop? Keep going. Why not?
Yeah.
Just keep going. Just keep adding teams.
That's it.
Let everybody in. How about the whole season, just one big tournament?
I mean,
why would you want to copy off of what college basketball does? That's what I don't understand about it all. Like, what are you trying to do? You had a good system. I thought 4 teams was great. Like, come on, if there was just 4 teams this year, would anybody be arguing about the top 4 teams? Maybe Texas, right? You might argue that Texas should get in over Arizona State, right? That might be the only argument.
I mean, it's one of those things that you're looking at Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State. Like, those are your top 4. Would that, if it was still only 4, would Boise State be in this conversation? They don't bring the eyeballs. Like, it's a TV show, right? It's the same reason why other small schools have gotten hosed in the past, right? Like, we clamored for Cincinnati, and then Cincinnati got their shot and they shit the bed, right? We clamored we wanted Florida State in. Florida State, like, nope, we're not letting Florida State in. And they showed ass there. So, it's a TV show. At the end of the day, it's going to bring eyeballs. The most intriguing matchup of the first round, for me, is Battle of Indiana. Like, I'm with you. It's the opening one. It's the first one on the 20th when we start our bowl movement again. So, it's one of those things that, I'm intrigued to see that. Tennessee, Ohio State, and like, okay, cool. Clemson, Texas, I don't really, I expect the Longhorns to win that. I expect that side of the bracket to be Ohio State, Oregon, and I expect Texas, Arizona State. Like, it's Notre Dame is set up now to get out of this thing and be in the championship just because Carson Beck is not there. You're relying on Gunnar Stockton, who he may pull a Cardale Jones. It's possible. It's possible. Anything's possible. So you expect Notre Dame to be in the second round against Georgia. I know that you're not a fan of James Franklin. I know you're not a fan of Penn State. It's a tough matchup. Like, Drew Aller, all of a sudden, is getting a lot of hype. He's getting a lot of buzz surrounding him. And now all of a sudden, can he be the number 3 quarterback in the draft? Like, can we not do that right now? This is Christian Hackenberg all over again, man. Can we not gas this kid up that much? So, like, they're not making it through. I could see SMU winning that. Just because it's James Franklin and just because it's Penn State, they're chokers. They're going to choke. It's inevitable. So you have Boise State, SMU. Who the hell is going to watch that game? Who is watching Boise State, SMU besides gamblers? Like, nobody. Notre Dame, Georgia? Okay, you have my attention. Notre Dame should walk over. So you're looking at Notre Dame, probably Boise State. Oregon, Ohio State. That's got a little bit of juice. Oregon should win that. Should. And then you're looking at Texas, Arizona State. I like that. That's a good matchup. It'll be some shit. Texas wins. Arch Manning really making that stock rise. Really ascending to the next level. Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Boise State. You're looking at a final of Notre Dame and Oregon. I could definitely see that. And Danny's gonna love this one. Wake up the echoes. They can win that game. Notre Dame could win that game. It's possible. But that, I think, is the only result that's going to kind of... A big name needs to win this in order for it to be successful in its first iteration. If you end up with, like, SMU winning this thing, she's like, yeah, fantastic. It's wonderful. Awesome. Just watch those ratings plummet, dude. Just watch them plummet. Because if you end up with a rematch of the ACC championship, if you somehow end up with SMU Clemson, are people going to watch that? Or SMU Arizona State? Or, or Boise State? Yeah, Boise State Clemson. You're not maximizing all the eyeballs you could be getting. So, I'm sure college football is hoping that Alabama's better next year. Because they could certainly use the star power of Alabama. They certainly could use Kalen DeBoer going out there pounding the pavement and getting his ass into the playoffs next year. But it's going to be entertaining. Like, it's going to be, from a train wreck standpoint, just to see what the hell happens. And then all bets are off at the end.
Step outside of your safe area and make a statement without saying much with FCK Clout Lifestyle Apparel. Embrace the colorful chaos and stay emotionally regulated in their graphic tees, hoodies, snapbacks, accessories, and more. Go to fckclout.com today and check out current season and past season merchandise for men and women. Get it while you can. That's fckclout.com. Check them out today. fckclout.com. The choice is yours. Swipe left or swipe right.
All right, boys and girls, especially my online dating fans, we have some statements, and it's either swipe left or swipe right. Swipe left or swipe right. Number one, the Atlanta Falcons benching Kirk Cousins for Michael Penix Jr.
Nah, I'm swiping left on this. Yeah, Kirk's gonna have some bad games, man. Like, you know what? You think the Falcons are gonna win the Super Bowl? There's no point in bringing him in this year. I think they should just ride the course, do your best. This guy is he's shorter term from the Achilles injury than Aaron Rodgers was, so you're gonna have these games where he's just not 100%, especially after all that time off. So no, stick with Kirk. See what happens.
17 touchdowns, 15 picks. This is where this is coming from. In recent weeks, he's thrown a lion's share of those picks. And the rumors are already starting to circulate about whether or not they're going to deal Kirk Cousins. So that will further impact the QB market. And when you know, I'm sure the Jets would be interested, because that's what the Jets do. So I gotta swipe left on this too. Like, Kirk Cousins gives you a better chance to win this late in the season. And Michael Penix has done what? Has he even taken like a victory formation snap? Like, has he taken the field this year? Like, has he warmed up Kirk Cousins? Has he warmed up? Like, or is he just holding the clipboard? Like, what is he doing that makes people think that you're gonna do better than Kirk Cousins right now? When at the start of the year and at the start of free agency, when you sign Kirk Cousins, like, he's the guy. Come on now. Like, it, Cole's Cash Kirk. It's great. It's fantastic. Meanwhile, to your point, he is coming off an injury from last year. So there's a little bit of, you need to expect some of these things. So the offensive line needs to protect him. He's got to do a better job of cleaning up the turnover problem. They're still in the thick of this race in the NFC South. Tampa Bay has not sealed up anything yet. Tampa Bay hasn't really distinguished themselves. Like, right now they're in playoff position, but are they really going to make a deep run in the playoffs? I don't think so. Like, they've been okay. They've been fine, but everybody looks okay and fine against the Giants. Shit, you and I can like tape it up right now, and we could probably put up a good showing against the Giants. So that's kind of what that is. I expect Kirk Cousins to be there, and I expect him to do better moving forward. Swipe left or swipe right. Number 2, Ashton Jonty winning the Heisman.
I'm gonna swipe left on this too. I think it's Travis Hunter. I mean, it's reminiscent of Rod Woodson, doing two things on the football field. So I think he would get my vote.
Both of these guys are extremely talented.
What's up with Shador not even being there? That's garbage too. I can't believe Shador Sanders is not even a finalist.
Yeah, so you're looking at Dylan Gabriel, you're looking at Hunter, Jonty, and Cam Ward. So I find that very interesting. And if this was Major League Baseball, it would go to Dylan Gabriel, right? The best player on the number 1 team, yada yada, like all of that. But this is in Major League Baseball, so we don't have to worry about that. He does have 28 tutties, 6 picks, So that's a really good ratio. And 73.2% completion rate. With 35 overall touchdowns. So 35 total touchdowns, 28 passing. So definitely great. Definitely a great season. Hunter, he's Ohtani. Like, he's college football Ohtani. He's doing it on both ends. And I think that's going to give you the edge. I think you're right on that. Like, I'm going to swipe left on Jonty as well, even though he has almost 2,500 rushing yards. Right? He's averaging 192.1. That's crazy. And he has 13 consecutive games of over 125 yards. Not just 100 yards, 125. Can I interest you in that? That's pretty damn excellent. And you know what? Ward. Cam Ward is also in the conversation, having an outstanding year. But I think, nail on the head, the unicorn situation of Travis Hunter takes him over the top. Swipe left or swipe right, number 3. Bill Belichick coaching the University of North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean it's happening. He's accepted the position, so it's going on. It's actually happening.
Could you imagine? Let's just imagine the press conferences for a second. Yeah, we're on to Syracuse. What do you want me to do? I'm holding tryouts for kicker. We're on to Syracuse.
Yeah, I don't really understand what he's trying to do here. I'm gonna swipe left. I don't see them going to a national championship game. If you wanted to coach in college, why would you go to University of North Carolina? I don't see where the thrill is there. Army would have seen a better fit for him.
Yes.
Right? Because of the military regiment. You're going to have cadets that are accountable, respectful. I mean, I don't know. You're going to get 17-year-old immature kids that are they're going to be late to meetings. They're going to make mistakes at practice. Like, are you trying to do what Nick Saban did? Like, I don't see it. I don't get it. But I'm also, we talked about this in the production meeting, I'm also very surprised that he didn't get any offers. Because, this is really happening because he put feelers out there and nobody was interested in his services. And I think it's interesting that, like, the Hallis family and the Bears, with the dysfunction that went on there this year, that they weren't interested in Bill Belichick coming in, because from a talent perspective, the Bears have the talent. The Bears defense is a good defense. They're top 10 in the league. And you have the quarterback. You have a wide receiver. You've got veterans. You've got running backs. Like, the team is set. You're in the NFC North, which is a good conference for you. I'm just surprised. And you already know all the other positions that are going to open up, right? We know the Jaguars is probably going to be available. I guess you weren't interested in that either, or they weren't interested in you, which is the weirdest thing. So yeah, I'm swiping left. I don't really see this as being the best move for arguably one of the best head coaches in NFL history.
Well, the NFL situation, there's baggage that comes with it. There's levels of control that he's going to want. Coming off a sharp decline in New England, and a lot of players trashing him on the way out, and a lot of players trashing the Patriot way on the way out. And what'd they win without him? So maybe he wasn't the problem. Just maybe, Bill Belichick wasn't the problem. Maybe Gerard Mayo isn't the solution yet in New England. but there's definitely elements there. He's going to want certain things. And if you're the owner, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to give him all of the control that he's going to want? Now, yes, we talked about that he was bad at player personnel. Originally, that's what I thought he was going to do at UNC. Like, I mean, reports indicated that he was getting this so that Steve Belichick could have a soft landing spot. Like, it's very interesting how it went from, oh, I'm going to run the show, and then Steve is really going to manage it, and like, fuck that. I got it. I'm here. I'm doing it all. I'm doing it all. But, we talked about it in the production meeting as well. Bill Belichick going to a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid's house, right? And he's going to try and sell his way to a modern teenager? Get the fuck out of here. That ain't working. That ain't working at all. Like, you need to do X, Y, Z. No. That's, but it works. I've been having this conversation.
His big thing was he would call people out and hold them accountable.
Oh, no, the kids don't want that.
You can't do that. They'll walk out. They'll walk out. Especially in this nil era.
Yeah.
I'm not playing for you.
No. Like, can you imagine how many people would run through the transfer portal if that was the case? You're 100% right on that. But it takes a special kind of player to thrive in Bill Belichick's system. Think about the star players that he has coached that have not done well. Like, the primary one for me is Chad Ochocinco. Like, square peg, round hole. Chad Johnson is extremely talented. An amazing player. Hated playing in the New England system because he said on record
couldn't be himself.
He couldn't be himself. It had to be. It's very regimented. It was very. He said, "I'd never been in the military, but I imagine that's what it was like." And it comes from Bill's dad.
Yeah, that's exactly.
He coached
what he said.
in Navy.
Yeah,
like he was one of the Surface Academy coaches. He was a Navy coach for 30 years. But interesting. I'm going to swipe right on this from the aspect of he's tying family together. His dad, Steve, was an assistant coach for UNC for 3 years in the mid-50s. So for him, if it's a homecoming of sorts, then I can't really be mad at him for that. Results-wise, I think it's going to be a fucking disaster, but I think that if he's going there to try and restore a legacy and try and, do something that his dad would have wanted to do, like, I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. And if he wants to continue on that legacy, and in a couple of years, like you were saying before in the production meeting, like maybe this is just a way to get Steve's feet in the door. Like, I'll do it for a couple of years, but then I'm going to move upstairs, and then Steve is going to take control, and then, like, it's like kind of like the successor situation that he wanted to have in New England, where he's like, I'll do this for a couple more years, and then Josh will take over, and then Robert Kraft got impatient and said, we're not doing that anymore. So, how long before plans change? But the attention to the detail is still there. The fastball is still there, man. He had the presentation binder is stuff of legend. And he had one specifically geared for UNC and all of the myriad of problems that they have in that organization. So he's already been in the lab. He's already been working. So, he's definitely taking this seriously. It's not like a retirement job. I'm swiping right. I'm definitely going to swipe right on what he's doing. Success rate, I don't think it's going to be very high, but I appreciate at his age too that he's still willing to go out there and challenge himself with something new. And he's not the kind of guy who's going to be like waiting for the NFL to call him and then jump at the opportunity. He's not going to be like the Jim Harbaugh type where there's always going to be rumors about, oh, where's he going to go? Coach is a rolling stone. He gathers no moss. Like, no. Bill Belichick is very mossy. He's very mossy. So I think if he's in this, he's in it for the long run, and we'll see. But it's going to be entertaining as hell. So sit back and grab some popcorn and enjoy the show.
Has he coached his last game in the NFL, you think?
He's up there in age. It's the one thing. Like, Father Time doesn't stop just because he got out of the NFL. I don't think that people are going to... I don't know if as we get older that people are going to be willing to let him, like, come in. You remember when Cower was, like, the hot name for years, and all of a sudden it just kind of died out? Like, Cower got old.
Yeah.
So, I think, like Gruden is going through that right now. We were talking about last week. And if you didn't listen, make sure you listen to last week's episode. Shame on you. But Gruden's the hot name now, the hot retread, if you will. Eventually, like, his name will fizzle out. So I think this is cyclical. The one thing that Gruden has is that he's got years on them. Belichick will be in his 80s, man. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And I don't think anybody's going to give up that level of control just so he can try and add more wins to his resume.
Your favorite podcast has its own merch line now. Go to the Fade Store with DNZ.com today and check out our releases in apparel, accessories, drinkware, and more. Ever wanted an Alleged Superstar t-shirt? We got those. You want some yoga pants? We got those too. And we're not done yet. We have a lot of exciting collaborations and new products on the way. But check out what we have now at the Fade Store with DNZ.com. That's the Fade Store with DNZ.com. Who's the best of the worst this week in sports? The Fade Store presents the Alleged Superstar of the Week Award.
Alright, boys and girls, you know what time it is. It's time for the Alleged Superstar of the Week. You know how it goes. We put up a poll on our X account at FadeRouteDNZ and our Instagram poll at FadeRoute Podcast, and you vote. And you vote, and you vote, and you vote. And the winner of said show gets a shout out on this here show and takes home the coveted ass trophy. And do you know who took home the coveted ass trophy last week, D?
I don't.
Your friend and mine, Rob Manfred.
Shocker.
Golden at bat. That's all I have to say, right? Golden at bat. You stupid son of a bitch. Yeah. What are you thinking? It's like, how can I make myself seem more like a clown? I got it. It's great. It's awesome. Back to the drawing board, Mr. Manfred. Well, we were talking about this, and I think that there may be some merit to it. We're going to throw it out here to the in-crowd here. Should we have an Alleged Superstar Hall of Lame at this point? Because we have a couple of repeat offenders here. We might have a hell of a good first class. Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Drop us a line on X. Drop us a line on Instagram. Let us know, should we do this? And who would be the inaugural class in the Alleged Superstar Hall of Lame? But that was last week. This is this week. Who are your nominees for Alleged Superstar of the Week, D?
All right, so first up, I've got the NBA. Viewership is unusually down despite the NBA Emirates Cup and forcing stars to play. When will you realize the product sucks? I sent you a thing on Instagram where there was literally like 2 minutes in a game where it was just the teams were taking three-pointers and missing.
Yeah.
Just back and forth. You shoot
ridiculous.
a three, I shoot a three, you shoot a three. They did it like, I want to say 5 or 6 times before someone finally hit it 2. It's like the product is terrible, and you need to contract teams and play less games. Players are hurt. The whole Orlando Magic team is hurt. They're all hurt. The whole team's hurt. You got Embiid saying he's not playing in back-to-backs. Kawhi Leonard has yet to play this year. It's just they're not built to play 82 games. Dial it back to 56. Like, I don't know, just not working. Number 2, I've got the Tennessee Titans. Listen, I know you're bad, but you couldn't beat Jacksonville
with Mac Jones.
They're dead last in passing, and you couldn't get a passing touchdown? Come on. Awful. Tennessee Titans, you are my alleged superstars of the week. And last but not least, the Heisman finalist committee. Exactly why was Shedeur Sanders, arguably the best quarterback in the country, not a Heisman finalist? I can't remember the last time the best quarterback or second best quarterback in the nation, in the country, was not a Heisman finalist. Heisman finalist, you are my alleged superstars of the week. What do you got, Z? Or the committee that chooses the Heisman finalist. You
that sounds
are
about
my
right.
alleged superstar of the week. What do you got, Z?
I mean, if he's as good as his statistics are, and if he's as good as they claim him to be, he should be there. He should be there in New York at the athletic club, waiting for his honor. Now,
Didn't he already win the Maxwell Award?
I'm pretty sure,
He
yeah.
won the Maxwell Award.
Yeah. And then he was also at a presser. He was at some event with his dad and Antonio Pierce. For whatever reason, Antonio Pierce was there. And it was like, y'all better draft them Sanders boys. So, not just Shedeur, but also Shiloh. Very, very interesting. A little bit of tampering. It's okay.
Oh no, I don't think they announced it yet. No, I think he probably will win, but I don't think they announced it yet.
Well, I mean, it's still early. So, like, you still have you still have all the awards. I'm sure that'll come out, like, in the next couple days. But, yeah, I mean, you really can't, if you added one more, I think it would be fine. But, you know, we're just doing top 4 nowadays, and just those are the people who get an invite. I don't know.
Only 4 people get an invite, but 12 people get to the college playoff. Unbelievable.
Right. Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because then 12 people will get on there, and then 16, and then all of a sudden it'll be every fucking player in the country. So that's all right. It's okay. We know how this is trending. It's okay. So an honorable mention for me is Kadarius Toney. So Kadarius Toney muffed a punt.
2 days with the Browns.
Yeah, got flagged 15 yards for taunting after catching his punt when they're down 20 points. You're down. Yo, what the fuck are you doing? And you know what? Dude, are you
like
trying to stay? Exactly. Like, to brown out is what happened. They cut his ass. And, you know, I don't blame him. What a fucking clown. Like, dude, do you want to play? Like, seriously. And you know what? This is all Dave Gettleman's fault. Again, let's go back to it. Fuck you, Dave Gettleman. Why did you draft this kid? Why did you draft him? Head case, clown show. Because you were trying to replace Odell Beckham, who you traded. If you wanted a head case and a clown show, you could have kept Odell Beckham instead of drafting this kid. And now, he's just Kadarius Toney doing Kadarius Toney things. Kadarius Toney, honorable mention for my alleged superstar of the week. Into the list per umpire. The Chicago White Sox. The worst fucking team in baseball history. At least you'll get the number 1 pick in the draft, right? Right? Nope. All that sucking, and you got number 10. You sucked on a generational level. I said we retire generational. after this. It was a generational suck job by the Chicago White Sox, and you didn't even guarantee number one. The Nationals have the number one pick this year. What'd you suck for? You couldn't have been tanking. At least I don't think so. But another kick in the dick for the another kick in the dick for the Southsiders. Chicago White Sox, you are my alleged superstar of the week. Number 2, the MLS. You announced your end of season awards, and for your MVP, again, what's the definition of valuable? Was it the Golden Boot winner? No. Was it the top assist getter? No. Was it the best goalkeeper? No. Lionel Messi. Messi, when you put him up against everybody else in the league, did not move the needle. Did not lead in assists, did not lead in goals, missed time with injury, got shut down by James Sands of New York City Football Club. Shut down. James Sands is the Messi stopper. So, valuable. And it's not even that valuable because they're on Apple TV. You have to pay. There's a paywall for you to see the product. So, there's that. MLS. You need to revamp this whole thing because it ain't working. MLS, you are my alleged superstar of the week. And then last but not least, the New York Rangers. Jesus Christ.
Who just won, by the way.
Oh, that's great. Every blind squirrel finds a nut. Good job. Excellent job, boys. The problem is, they beat the Sabres. We can put our skates on and we can go beat the Sabres. Just the two of us against the entire team.
It took all 3 periods, by the way. They got an empty netter, and they still came back and came within a goal of tying the game.
Jesus Christ! You know, they're falling apart. They're absolutely falling apart. The defense is terrible. The top 6 aren't scoring. Your best forward. I mean, Panarin is Panarin. Everybody else is kind of like lost on an island. Like even Kreider. Big Juch in front of that. No. It's Artemi Panarin, Will Cooley, and Will fucking Cooley, and then everybody else. No offense to Will Cooley. He's going to be a very good player for many years to come in the NHL. But are you fucking kidding me? You went from the Eastern Conference Finals Game 7 to this? No, it's absolute trash play right now. Listless, uninspired, garbage. You had a lead on the Kraken. It was 5-2. Motherfucker, you lost 7-5. How do you do that? How did you do that? Would you put Clay Holmes in? But how did that work? And then you lose to the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are the worst team in the league. What are you doing? And I don't want to hear that Laviolette's got to go. I don't want to hear it. You got rid of Gallant because he was the problem. Right? No, it's not always the coach. And on top of that, you got rid of JD, you got rid of Jeff Gorton, you brought in Chris Drury, and now Drury's making enemies with players. I'm sure that players they really want to line up to come here. Starting with the Barclay Goodrow thing over the summer, where he wouldn't waive his no trade clause. Fine, fuck you, we're going to put you on waivers. Never mind, he already worked out a deal with San Jose. So, San Jose, you're going to claim him, we're going to trade him. He doesn't want to go to you, too fucking bad. You're on his no trade, no problem, we'll just put him on waivers. So they did Barclay Goodrow dirty. And then they repeat the process with Jacob Trouba, who is on the Ducks. They got a former number 1 pick who's kind of mid, and then they got a 4th round pick for their captain, who was presented with the same option. Waive your no trade clause, or we're going to put you on waivers. He said no. Okay, fine. We're going to go through with the process, so if you want to have a say in where you're going to go, he finally relented. You're not doing yourself any favors with potential free agents in the future. Gotta watch what you're doing there, Drury. Other teams are doing it, I'm sure, but it was not as public, and it was not as drawn out as the Trouba thing. We knew way too much about the process. We knew way too much about how the sausage was made. And Vincent Trocheck said it best. There was a dark cloud that laid over this franchise for a while. Could it be how it's run? Fix it. Fix it. I would like to see a cup before I die. Can we do that? I would like to see another cup before I die. This one will have to last a lifetime. We need to get that. We need to edit that with AI in Sam Rosen's voice. This one will have to last a lifetime. New York Rangers, you are my alleged superstar of the week. I think we said our piece. Go to our X account at FadeRouteDNZ. Go to our Instagram poll at FadeRoutePodcast and vote. And vote, and vote, and vote. And for our nominees.
You're better than that. Just do better. Just do better.
This has been the Fade Route with DNZ. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Catch our podcast on Wednesday nights on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So until next time, stay fade, everyone.
Time for us to run the go route. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review, rate us 5 stars, turn on subscription notifications, and share on social media. Tell your friends and spread the word.